I'm Mickey Andrade from Throtl, and this is our 2005 Ford GT. This car was completely destroyed in a racing accident, and we purchased it 18 years after the accident and put it back into this condition right here that you see today. One of the major factors of putting this back together was getting our partners on board to help us, because not only is this an unusual car, they don't make a lot of parts for it anymore, and everything is ultra expensive. That's where Speedhut comes in. We reached out to Speedhut and they made us a full custom gauge pod for this car. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that almost every one of these cars has gauge problems. We took our stock gauges out, which still worked because the car had been crashed so long ago. We got many offers to buy our gauge cluster after we replaced it with the Speedhut one. Let's show you guys the inside because it is awesome. So as you can see inside, we kept it pretty stock, but we did replace a couple key things, and that is the racing seats, because we couldn't bring a stock car to SEMA. And the only other thing we changed inside this car was the gauge package. And what's cool about working with Speedhut is we were able to actually spec these to our liking. So we went with a yellow tachometer, which in these cars, the tach is right in front of the driver for racing purposes. But we went with yellow to match the rest of the livery. And obviously on the other side, we have the speedometer, which is really big so the driver can see it. It is off to the right, but Speedhut not only knocked the colors out of the park for us, they also added our logo to the gauges, which we love. The Throtl logo just looks so cool in there, and it looks perfectly in place for the interior of this car and adds the spice it needs to make this a truly unique Ford GT. Back in 2007, I worked for a company called Falcon Tire, and we were racing a Ford GT at the American Le Mans series. A team called Doran Racing used to build those cars and construct them for the race teams, and they built this body. Now, only 8 of these bodies had been created in the past. This is the 9th, and it was created specifically for this car, for us, to build a street car. That makes this car truly special to me because it has the lineage and the heritage of the old Falcon race program, but we're now able to fit it to a street car that we can enjoy every day on the road in Southern California. Some of our other partners came through clutch for us because, as I said previously, a lot of the parts for this car are no longer available or are very expensive. So we had 6-piston front and rear disc brakes made by our friends at Willwood. HRE made us custom wheels, and Super Pro made us custom bushings because a lot of the bushings are no longer available, and the control arm is $10,000 these days. So to be able to get new bushings to push into these arms was awesome, and now this thing handles like a brand new car. We also had Fortune Auto make us a custom set of coilovers to get this thing super low and pull off the look that we were after. One of my favorite things about the car is the actual functional aero on this thing. Oh, you can literally stand on the aero parts. Most cars, if you walk around SEMA and stand on those, they will break off. Not this one. Out back, we have the Doran Racing GT wing, also very functional. You can stand on this if you want. Chassis connected down here at the frame rails, and underneath here we have a rear diffuser that completes the whole under panel package of this car. It is completely flat underneath, and man, look at this carbon weave, it's so cool. As I mentioned previously, we want to be able to street drive this car, so we left the drivetrain completely stock for now. We're gonna get this thing back to California, get it carb compliant, get license plates on it so we can enjoy it. We'd like to drive it over to WD-40 for lunch, or off to Cars and Coffee, or even to visit our friends at Speedhut. Well, that's the quick rundown of our Ford GT. If you guys have a Ford GT and you're in the market for a new gauge package, hit up Speedhut because this thing is absolutely plug and play, pops right in the dash, you plug it in, and it lights up and works as it's supposed to, not like those old Ford gauges. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll see you in the next one.